All right. Welcome to the show. We are starting live. We got a good show today for you guys. Miss Trish Golf Life. Tell me something good. Okay. Where'd your volume go? Where'd your volume go, honey? It was working great. Big Sif. Tell me something good.
Oh man, what's good is the Carolinas, man. We're trending at about 65 degrees, 70-degree weather, man. So we're getting it in. I had the opportunity to go out there and walk 9 holes, and it's beautiful. But the days are getting longer. That's a golfer's, that's heaven, man. Heaven for a golfer.
Let's get that up. Come on. We've been struggling out here in Cali, and usually we the envy, but we've been struggling right now.
I see you said it was snowing, man.
Man, I videotaped. I woke up Saturday morning. I'm like, why is the rain coming down so slow? That's some slow rain. And I look out my backyard. It's snow coming down. It snows out here where I'm at maybe once every 8 years. I'm at 1,600 feet elevation. It don't really get that low. The lowest it really gets yearly is about 2,600, 3,000 feet elevation. You'll get some snow or some light dusting. But we got a little bit. It dropped to the 1,600, but it's gonna be good. We got a tournament, my golf league tournament. We do the first Saturday every month, and we got it going. Let's see. Miss Clark's Golf Life is back in the heezy for sheezy. What up, though?
I don't know. Can you hear me?
Oh, you sound good. Let's get a clap for that. Technical difficulties.
So I was gonna tell y'all guys. So I played in a tournament on Monday. It was my first FSGA tournament, right? So my homegirl hit me up. She said, "Look, they got this little tournament. It's a 4-ball. I don't know what a 4-ball format is, but you know what? We play recreational. Let's see what we do in a competition." So we get out there, we do the darn thing, we round the corner. It's about 130 to 150 plus women out there playing. Okay, cool. Like anybody else, I know y'all do it, so we do it. So my homegirl goes out there and she's cleaning the window. She's cleaning the window of the cart. And the lady next to us, the Karen and the Becky in the cart next to us, proceeds to say, "Wow, you're cleaning that window real nice. You should come to my house and clean my windows."
Come on, no, not in 2023.
2023.
Not in 2023.
2023. And
no self-awareness. No, I mean, really? In 2023?
Yeah. And I sat there, I laughed. I said, you know what?
We ain't learned nothing, have we?
Listen, she got in the car.
Have you learned anything?
No. So she got in the car. We were like, you know what? We're going to show them what little black girl magic does for you. And we got out there. We, at first, we were kind of, because you can watch the leaderboard. So we're watching it, we was like second place, third place, fifth place. By the 9th hole, we were in first and second place, gross and net. So after that, we was like, you know what? We're going to put our foots on their necks and we finna show them what we do. So we came out, we won. We got first place in both gross and net. So it was a good time. Good time.
Dope. That's good. That's what Tiger says. Don't get bitter. Get better, baby. Don't get bitter. Get better. But yeah, that was very insensitive, and that's crazy time. I mean, are we that sheltered? Do we all live in that kind of bubble?
Listen,
I guess so, obviously.
I mean,
but then you want to say that because you want to give people the benefit of the doubt. But that was a dig. That was a dig.
Oh, she laughed. She thought it was so funny.
Yeah, that was a dig.
I'd have said your mom.
Listen.
Yeah, that's crazy time. That's crazy time.
Exactly how I
All right. Any news and tidbits before we get on out of here? Oh, Cipher Scholar. Just a heads up real quick, Trish, if you want to give another. Is the application process still open for the Cipher Scholarship?
Yep, absolutely. So the Cipher Scholarship is out there. You can follow them on IG, Twitter, Facebook, and then they have the link to the application out there. And again, it's for anybody that's already in the HBCUs or any incoming HBCU golfers. We have some monies out there for you. Apply, Get that money. Get the money. It's out there.
Once again, we got some monies out there for you to get yourself in college and to give your parents a small break in that pocketbook. So, we always support HBCU Golf. Look at the bottom of the ticker. Please donate to the HBCU Golf Coaches Association. It really, really helps. It's 105 HBCUs, maybe more. I always get the number incorrect. It's not that many golf teams at the HBCUs, not 100 and something, but they're coming up, and that's a gateway for our kids to get a college education, playing golf, and with some help with that money, because it's expensive, y'all, for real. And this is real talk. We are divesting into, we always like to talk about sports. We like to talk about golf and diversity. We're lucky today to have somebody that's in a big time sports NFL. And, with the, I'm not going to say the age of the black quarterback. It's just good to have him on. He was involved in some great plays that was on TV. We're going to go into that. We're going to talk about golf. We're going to talk about diversity in the NFL today from someone who's seeing it, who's running it down, who's actually participating. And I love it. I love it. Let's get to our intro. And we out, y'all.
Because you left 14 seconds. Skip, that's danger zone. I've heard a lot of people say 16, 17. I told you yesterday, Skip, Mike, the way we did it, it was always 18 seconds. Now, Skip, it was different in my day because you remember where the umpire was back then. He was on the defensive side of the football. So when we caught the pass, it was easy for us to run handing the ball. Skip, you don't throw the ball to the official because most of those guys only catch the ball with their grandkids in the backyard. They're not used to catching football from guys that's running and throwing the ball to them at a high rate of speed. So look at where he was. He's coming in. You should have left a crease so he could jump through the crease. He did you a favor. Most of the time, Skip, what do we see them do? They run around outside Tyron Smith. So he tried to jump through a crease that wasn't there. And he ended up stumbling over Dak. What you should have done, you can't hand the ball to your center because your center can't spot the ball. The official needs to touch the football in order for it to be a play, to be in play. Skip, that was the Cowboys' fault. You run that play, you come out better taking 2 shots at the end zone as opposed to running that play.
Great segment. Sif, I'm going to let you introduce our guest and speak a little bit about that and speak a little bit about his journey before we bring him on.
Yeah, man. It gives me great pleasure to introduce my college teammate, my college roommate, Ramon George, who's he's actually been a journeyman. He's a VP of a bank, was a VP of a bank. He was out in Texas. He's worked his NFL, played for the Redskins, a stint with the Redskins. He was a college All-American. He was a college All-Conference. The accolades just keep piling up. But he's worked his tail off, and it's not by mistake or coincidence that he's where he is now. He's been to 2 Super Bowls, officiated 2 Super Bowls, officiated 2 AFC championships, both in Kansas City. And he was also chosen, I don't know if you guys remember, but a couple of years ago, they actually chose the best officials, the best crew they put together. And I think it was the Kansas City Chiefs, and I want to say the Rams at the time. And he was chosen for that spot. So Ramon's a great dude, great family man, has kids running track all over the country. Loves cigars. He's a Q, but the list goes on and on. Love him to death, man. We've been in a lot of chaos doing undergrad years, but we survived, and I'm glad we got him on the show.
Love it. There we go. Love it. Let's put him in the big guy window because he's our big guest, if we can. Today. Brother Ramon, how are you? Thank you for showing up. Thank you for coming into the show. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Brother Sif, he gave us a great intro, but we're going to hear from your words. That's your brother, so we're going to hear from you.
Hey, I'm just a little man from a small town called Edenville, Florida.
That's right. We love it.
But no, man, Sif's my boy. I thank y'all for inviting me on. Sif, we go a long way back. We have a lot of history together, and that's my roommate. That's my guy. I love that guy, and just the growth that has happened. I mean, he knows where we come from, the things that we've done in college, the things that we've talked about, tears, laughter. I mean, just a journey together, and I just appreciate him. And but thank you guys and ladies for inviting me on, and I'm here to contribute any way I can.
Love it. In the intro, we're gonna get right into it. We played that clip. That was a big clip. I was watching that game. I didn't have a dog in the fight. I'm in Cali, so it's horns up, Rams. I know he did. I know Sif did. But it's horns up for me. Our great co-host, Miss Trish Goff, like she in Tampa, so she look at the hat. Oh, look at the hat. So she a Tampa fan. I'm a Rams fan. Sif, you the only Cowboy fan on the show. I'm gonna let you go into it. I'm gonna let you go because that was a call. But I had to get some perspective.
Yeah, well, the thing was, man, it was, here it is again, Cowboys trying to make a run in the playoffs. And as I watched the play unfold, I'm pissed, but I immediately knew that Ramon was he was right in doing his job, and so he took a lot of criticism. I mean, ESPN, Fox. I mean, all the news outlets, man. But
because you left 14.
Okay.
But I think when the dust settled, I think what eventually happened, people started to look and say, "Well, damn, this guy sprinted from 30 yards back. He had to touch the ball. He's not a fat guy. He's not a slow guy. Ramon ran 4.4 in college." And so when the dust settled, it came to be that Ramon was right. I mean, in that situation, Dallas should have threw the football, stops the clock if it's incomplete. But as Shannon alluded to, they should have thrown the ball twice in the end zone, and we wouldn't even be having this discussion. But I had to defend him now for Cowboy fan. I had to defend him. I got some looks as I was talking about, but I had to defend him.
That's right. That's what boys do. But like he said, when they showed that clip, you was moving, Ramon. You was moving and didn't have to. You was moving, trying to give him an extra shot at the end zone. That was on them. That was bad play calling.
Yeah, bad management. Enough has been said about it, and I can't go into details. Just because of who I work for. But let's just say they measure players' speed on the field, and they measured official speed on the field. And let's just say the rumor has it I was 15.4 miles per hour, the fastest guy during the play on the field.
Let's get at
and I'll just leave it. I'll leave it at that.
That's right.
I'll leave it at that.
Beautiful. So let's get into, because it's rare that we get to talk to an NFL official. How did you get into that and to get to such high levels? I think that's the journey we need to dig into, because we don't always get to talk to the officials or see us officiating and get to talk live to them. Well, how did you get into it? What was your journey to get to that high level that you're at now?
Yeah, so it happened, not something that I actually planned for. So it just kind of happened. So I had recently relocated to Dallas, working for the bank, and a gentleman who worked for me, he was a high school official, and they worked Pop Warner football on the weekends, and you know how Pop Warner is. It's a It's a parent competitive sport. So basically, he got to know me, and he was like, "Hey, man, can you come out and help us? Basically, work the games on the weekends, just basically to control the parents and manage the games." So basically, I went out there and started and worked, and it actually was fun. Just being having a football background and being around football all your life, it was actually pretty fun. And managing the game and managing the parents became easy to me. So at that point, basically, I was like, "Hey, this is pretty cool." He was like, "Well, you thought about doing high school once you come to the meeting." So I went to the meeting and basically signed up for the association. This was in Dallas, Texas, and joined the association. And that summer, which was about a month later, that summer I went to an actual camp just to learn a little bit more. Hey, perfect your craft. And during the as I was working scrimmages, there was college supervisors there, basically teaching and recruiting. And I talked to several during the camp, and it was basically, "How long have you been working football?" I was working as a line of scrimmage position at the time. It was like, "How long have you been working football?" I was like not even a month. So from that, they just kept talking to me all weekend. It was a weekend camp, and that about 3 weeks later, I got a phone call from a gentleman named Gerald Alston. He was the supervisor of Conference USA, and he called me. He was like, "Hey, you ever thought about working college football?" I was like, "No." He was like, "Would you be interested?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Well, be in Dallas." He said, "Be at this meeting, which was in Dallas in 2 weeks. Somebody's going to send you all the information on it." And from that point, I went from Pop Warner to college without even working a high school game. And that's very, very rare. I mean, that's really rare. That never happens. And I worked my college. I actually left Dallas before I worked my first football game. I relocated to Jacksonville, and I worked my first college game before I even got on the high school field. And my journey just took off from there. And I think 6 years later, I was in the NFL. But it's rare. It's rare. It's very rare.
What a great story. What a great story. Because we don't often get to hear. We see them on the field. We see, some groundbreaking stuff in the NBA and the NFL with even some female referees. But we never hear the journeys. I'm going to let Miss Clark get in a question.
Oh, so rude to the good bros. There you go.
That's right.
Listen, that Clave gonna be here in 2024. You coming out?
I would definitely be there.
All right then.
I would definitely be there.
I see you out there. So my question to you is, so like he was saying, we got ladies are referees, we got you out there as referees. Like, what's that number? Obviously, I don't know. I wouldn't know. But what's that number of us as referees in the game today?
So I would say in the when you look at across the landscape in the NFL, we're about 38%. And on a diversity level, and I when I say diversity, when you talk about diversity, it's just not African Americans. We do have some sprinkled in with Indians and Asians that have recently, and also ladies, women. So we're about 30. We're about 38% in the NFL level. When you look at it across the landscape, there's certain conferences in college football that have more on a diverse level than others. So when you look at across the board, I would say we still hovering around that 40% range, 50% range. But I think when you talk diversity, I think it's an unknown with individuals who know what the profession is and what the craft is. We just don't have enough available people who knows and want to get out there to officiate because they just don't know about it. And that's really where we are, and where we're trying to really grow the game and increase the diverse across the board.
That's a great point, because we have these same conversations when we talk about golf and junior golf and getting into high level positions in golf. Are people probably just don't take those roads and don't even know and have information about how great we see you on TV and it looks fantastic, but after that the door shuts and we don't have any information, or no one seeks. They should seek. You seek, you shall find the information to take that journey. Seek and you shall find. Big Sif, what you say?
I know you have I know at one point you had a woman on your crew. Is that not correct?
Yep, I had a couple. I've had a few I work with a few women.
Do you feel as though that they get treated differently from coaches, from head coaches or staff, players, or what have you?
Oh, absolutely not. They get cursed out like we do.
Exactly. Curse them all out. Love it. I love it.
But you know, the thing is, and I'll let you finish, but is there I know we're in the age of social rights and things of that nature, and so it's almost like it's against the grain to body shame in these days. But in your profession, I've never seen an official with a belly hanging over their belt buckle. Is there a requirement in terms of conditioning, in terms of being in that position?
Absolutely. So when you look at football today, it's a $1 billion business on every level. When you talk about from college and the NFL, and in some high school districts, in states, it's a multi-million-dollar thing. Texas and your Californias and your Floridas. But from a college standpoint and an NFL standpoint, it's a $1 billion business. It's a moneymaker. And you got TV networks who are you're basically a product of the game. You're a product just like everybody else on the field. Okay. So the athletic directors in colleges, the GMs on the professional level, you got to be able to move. And the days of the big folks on the field, those days are gone. They want everybody to be able to move because the game is fast. Right. The game is intense. And when you think about it, when you're not in shape mentally, it can mess with you. And you're not as sharp mentally when you're not in shape, when you can't get to the fourth quarter. And when the game is really, really fast and things are on the line, you can't think if you're just huffing and puffing and worrying about, I'm so tired. So yes, it's a requirement. And we tell new officials in the game, if their waistline, I mean, if you frankly, you got your waistline at 42, hey, you better get it to a 36 before you even think about a college supervisor looking at you to come into their conference. And that's not, it's frank, it's blunt. We have to be blunt with it because that's what they're looking for. They're looking for, you got to pass the eye test. We call it the eye test.
The health is wealth.
And I think also it helps in terms of coaches staying off of you, that sideline staying off of you by being in the right position. You know, if you got a guy that's out of shape, he's not going to be in a position to make that call. So now a coach is going to ride him because he is out of shape and say, you weren't in that position to make that call.
Yep. Yeah, and that's a good point. You know, we have a thing we call mechanics and being in position. There's things that we follow in places that we got to be. Just like when we played the game, Sif, when we were in coverages, we had to be in the right place to execute those coverages. If we went out of place, i.e. Carson Newman, we were talking about that the other day.
Hey, don't bring that up.
Things like that happen. And if something happens and you're not in position to make the call or be in position to see something to make a judgment on any particular play, then that can impact the game. And at the end of the day, when coaches are fighting for their jobs, that's important. That's important.
Yeah. Everything counts for sure. And how is your travel? Is the pay competitive? Just for people that, and I'm glad you said what you said. Your journey starts from Pop Warner then usually you go into high school. Then if you're lucky, you get to college. And then if you're exceptional, you'll get to the big time. Doing all those journeys, and when you're where you're at now, you're at the pinnacle. How is it travel hard on the family, just like being on a team? Is the pay competitive that it's worth it? Or is it a mix between I just love it and I take a pay cut? Because you was a high-level banking exec, so you didn't actually need to do it. But how is the pay and how is the travel? If we have some young cats or some young women that want to travel down the road you traveled.
So at the so there's 3 tiers to it. You got your Pop Warner High School, which is extra cash that you can make. It's basically your weekend blow money. That's what it was. That's what you can call it. It's your weekend blow money. And then you have on the college side, it's basically a second minimal income. And when I say minimal income, and I don't mind sharing, it's you can go anywhere from 30 to 50,000 depending on the conference.
Okay.
And at the NFL level, it's just astronomical. It's a king's ransom for a kid day.
That's right. That's right. That's what we're talking about. That's right. but you got to understand, it's a long journey, and you have to be excellent. You know what I mean, to get there, and you have to know how to network, and so you deserve it. How beautiful is that? Everybody don't have to play. Everyone don't have to play. You could, you can do a lot of different things to be successful and to get that king's ransom. He said a king's ransom. All right, Solomon, and he got that gold. Big shit.
Hey, Chris has something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So question, 2-part question.
Yeah.
You're from Florida, so who's your team?
I don't actually have a team, believe it or not.
Disrespectful.
Great
question
answer.
Question number 2. So in the Super Bowl, we obviously had 2 Black quarterbacks who were absolutely phenomenal. But I know you probably felt especially happy about having a bruh out there quarterbacking with the Eagles. How did that feel?
Well, anytime you get success and it's cultural success, then that makes you feel great. And being part of the same fraternity, it just highlights some of the things that we live, the creeds that we live by, the models we live by, that you have to work to succeed. Nothing's going to be handed to you. And you've heard that time and time again coming from the gentleman who plays quarterback for the Eagles. You have to work. Even when people doubt you, even when people don't believe in you, you have to work to make sure that you get to where you're going, and don't let anybody tell you that you can't get there. And that's what I know. I understand what he has felt because I've watched him when he was in college, when he went from different teams. I've listened to the stories on the ESPNs and the various talk shows. So I know where some of the things that he's gone through and some of the things that he's heard about himself, and I know how he felt just going and getting to the big game that he wanted to, the accomplishments that he achieved. So it feels absolutely fabulous.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Great question. Great question.
For the team, though. We got 3 of them here. I'm gonna need you to pick one.
The problem, I don't have a team because I don't have time to watch football. That's the issue. I'm working.
Exactly. He don't have time to watch football because he's watching football.
But ask him who he opposes.
I just
we already know that. Whatever he like, I'll oppose. So let's just break down a brief history and just relish in the fact that we did have a great Super Bowl this year. Let's just play some clips and see what we can see, because sometimes I think we forget some of the history that the NFL and the journeys that we've taken.
Well, you can't tell this story without telling the story of Fritz Pollard, the first black star in the NFL, the first black quarterback, first black head coach. And Fritz Pollard was just such a great representative for black players in college football who aspired to play in the NFL. And he really was the first one to blaze the path.
Warren, I'd like to bring you in, though, because during your time as quarterback for the Houston Oilers, that was 1984 to 1993, Jason wrote, if the team won and you played well, you were the Oilers quarterback. But if you played poorly and the team lost, you were the team's black quarterback. How did you endure that kind of scrutiny personally and conditional criticism not faced by your white counterparts?
When I first started playing this position back as a 10 or 11-year-old in Pop Warner football, I knew it was going to be a difficult journey for me to be able to play the position because there wasn't a lot of people that looked like me playing it. I understood that, there was a lot of racism, there was a lot of bigotry and all those things that went along with it. I faced a lot of hate and a lot of personal type of ridicule, but I still wanted to play the position and show that I could play it. And I knew that if I played well, it would also help the next generation of younger guys coming along to get that opportunity.
Well, speaking of the next generation players who do owe you a thank you, stars like Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Kyler Murray. Jason, bringing you back in, you wrote that 2019 was the year of the black quarterback. So prior to this year, why was it so difficult for black players to get this opportunity to play this specific?
So that was definitely a clip from 2019, and we've gone pretty far. And I'm going to play one more clip, and it kind of breaks down all the quarterbacks that's got to the big time, too. And then we'll talk a little bit about that.
It was 35 years ago that Doug Williams became the first black quarterback to start and win a Super Bowl. He threw a record-setting 4 touchdowns in a single quarter and was the game's MVP as Washington beat the Denver Broncos 42-10. But since then, only 7 Super Bowl quarterbacks have been black.
And that just breaks down exactly the Super Bowl part of the minority quarterback. I think from the beginning of that video, when we're talking about history and the beginnings of the journey of the first black quarterback and then end up being a head coach, how has our journey been? Do you think, Ramon, how's our journey been from way back then until now? You see good progress? Are we doing the right things? Are the owners, every year we have this big thing of the Black Coach Watch. We on Coach Watch, we got 5 or 6. I know you can't speak probably on everything, so divert some to us because we still want you on that field next year. But but we always get the Black Coach Watch, 4 interviewed. Well, they just went. How do you think in overall? Let's just speak in overall instead of specifics. How is our journey in the NFL so far? Not from a player standpoint, but those higher echelon positions and quarterback positions.
I think we are on the right track, and we're working just to make it better. And just like anything else, and you talk about in general, it's about being ready now. Mm-hmm. When there's individuals that ready now, I think that the league and everyone else, and I don't want to talk just about the league, but in general, I think everybody recognizes when somebody's ready, then they pull the trigger. Because at the end of the day, as I mentioned before, it's a business. And they're trying to put the right people in the right position. And I don't think that they look to see who is what color or whomever is they look for the most qualified and ready now person.
At that high level, for sure.
Yeah. And I think that the leadership is doing a great job. I commend them. And the public doesn't see the things that we see behind the scenes. But they're pushing and they're doing the right things. And I commend them for what they're doing.
That's beautiful to hear too, and it looks like that. And it's easy to be a naysayer, but get involved. Did you start at Pop Warner? Did you put in the time and the years it takes to be excellent at your craft? And we go through this, and you're a golfer too. We go through this with golf, like you said. Are you ready now? That the time is right now. sometimes we use like, oh, they're not ready, this and that. So then we try to help them be ready now with junior golf and funds and charities and the right coaches and the right instruction so they can seize the moment when their time comes. I think that's our disparity. Are we getting the right training? Are we getting the right information? Well, are we getting any information to push people in the different directions? As you see, this is one of our diverse shows ever. It's a lifestyle show, but it's prominent on golf. But talking to you today and tonight about the referee and the high echelon that you have achieved, that is a great journey. And it seems like most of the same traits, most of the same work ethic. You need that for any field you go into, whether it's medicine,
Absolutely.
NFL refereeing, top elite golf, top elite NBA. These characteristics and the work ethic and the way you go about your business, it transcends all sports, entertainment, and business. And I think, you're just another great example of that. Sif or Trish?
So Ramon, what is the most enjoyable part of being an NFL official, and what's the most challenging part of being an NFL official?
I go to challenging part. The challenging part is the grind of the travel, and then the grind of having to explain to your wife that she can't plan any vacations, and you're gone every holiday and every weekend, and she's just like, can we go do this? And I'm like, no, I think I got a game that weekend. So I think that's the most challenging part. And then just being away from the family.
Give it a credit card, man. That's all.
Just give it a credit card. That's it. That's good enough.
That's not good enough.
That's still that.
And really, at the other part of your question is the most rewarding and the most fun part is really being out there on Sundays and Mondays and Thursdays. That's a lot of fun. Just growing up around the game and knowing that football brought me from where I came from, out from a low life, and took me to college and helped me graduate college, and took me and helped me become a man in profession, and just learn teamwork and learn how to play the game and listen and learn. Just being out there and being able to be around the game today at my age, and being able to run around and see the things and do the things that I used to do, and watch the things and just listen to the players that tell me that what they were doing or what they're not doing, and I'm looking at them like, I've been there and done that.
Love it.
And then watching the players, talking to the players, and I wouldn't say befriending them, but hearing them talk about their families, and then hearing them talk about their kids, and the growth that you see in them from year to year, because they become I would say kids. I wouldn't say kids, but young men, really young men to grown men, to understanding that it's a business, and it's not fun and games that it used to be in college. It's about business and taking care of their families and taking care of their bodies, and then having to watch their kids grow and take care of their kids. So it's a whole, it's a lot of rewarding things that you get out of it just by watching all those things, and then making friends and watching and listening to the coaches and having those conversations. So it's a lot that you see, but the worst thing about it is just being away from your family.
Beautiful explanation.
The thing is, like, for example, with Ramon, and we talk about it when we talk about junior golfers and why we don't see more of our kids making that leap to the PGA. And it's coming. I mean, we've got a lot of them in the network, so it's coming. But the thing is, you just heard Ramon talk about hard work, and so you're talking about a person who comes from humble beginnings, and I saw how hard it was almost like Ramon was the first one in the weight room, the last one to leave. He was always the first in sprints. You know, and hey man, let's go out tonight and run. I said, oh, you had that shit. But the thing was, greatness. It was like we talked about Tony Finau last week. Mm-hmm. It was interred in his bones to be great. And so a lot of that is, I don't care how many balls you hit. You can hit 1,000 golf balls, but if you don't have something inside of you to say, I'm going to be great, then you're just hitting 1,000 golf balls. And so he's and we're talking about an NFL official, but the adage is the same. You know what I'm saying? So the question I have for you, Ramon, is this: you know, you're playing golf now. You told me you played 18 today, beat up on some guys. We had the opportunity to play for our college reunion. How has golf helped your NFL career?
You know, it helps you. It helps you focus. You know, it's a competitive. You know, golf is one of those internal competitive things that you just want to beat the game. You never gonna win.
Never. It's not gonna happen.
You just want to beat the game. But from a how does it help? It helps you concentrate, because when you're standing over that ball, I mean, you got mechanics and things that you got to follow. And you have to, sometimes you when you're having a bad day, you got to think. You like, okay, let me get it together. Some days is just getting off the tee. Some days is putting. Some days is chipping. I mean, it's all over the place. But you just gotta you just gotta focus, and you just gotta concentrate. And in the game, it's the same way. You always, every single play, you can't take a play off. You cannot take a play off. Just like it was when we played football. You can't take a play off. The minute you relax, the minute something happens.
That's the damn truth.
Yeah.
That's true. That is the truth. As soon as you think you got it and turn your head, all of a sudden you in the water. You double it. You're like, what? How did I go from a birdie to double? I switched in 5 seconds, taking my eye off the game, took too many sips and took too many puffs off that Cuban. Now I got a double. Well, I'm gonna tell you, Mr. Ramon George, this has been an exceptional conversation with an exceptional man. I mean, this is one of our better diverse shows, because you've traveled a journey many don't get to travel, and we were lucky enough to hear your journey. And I'm glad you said, you know, it's a business. At the end of the day, they're putting on a product. The pieces of the product needs to be excellent, so the whole overall product can be excellent. It's $1 billion business. And we see a little bit of that with our college, or a lot of bit of that with our PWI colleges. And now we're trying to say HBCUs, for the last 50 years, you've been missing out on this great money. You know, the Pac-12, since I'm in Cali, I'll just speak on the Pac-12. Pac-12 is suffering a little bit right now. SC, UCLA is moving. They don't have a TV deal. They're trying to scrounge a TV deal. But some of the other big four, you know, they get 38-40 million a year out of their TV deals. You know, that is a lot of annual money coming to a school strictly from football. And we see the Dion effect, we see the Prime effect, we see trying to, you know, we see a lot more kids that's willing to go to HBCUs and understanding that, you know, you can get a full education and play some good football. I want all of us to speak on, like, it is a business. Certain things, like a lot of people have not negative, but side-eye stuff with Dion. But I always tell people this. You got to remember, he's been rich and a multimillionaire longer than he was broke at this point. You know what I mean? He's had over 25, 30 years of being a business professional and a multimillionaire. So certain things, when he comes into a room or he comes into a situation, he's coming in with a multimillionaire mindset. And certain things is unacceptable and intolerable that may look different from a journeyman or something like that. But that's what you want. You want to bring some of that excellence. You want to bring some of that multimillionaire mindset into the room to be like, I know we've been doing this, but I've been around a room full of people richer than me, and we have to do it this way if we want to help our kids and bring this money. Let's speak on that just in general, because I think some people miss the point on the mindset, and it's not always trying to criticize certain situations. It's about this is what and how we bring this kind of money into this situation, and it's a business, and it's not feelings, and we can't have feelings. It's just straight business. And if we're ready to do business, we can bring some of this money. I mean, come on, the Pac-12 is, I love the Pac-12, but they might still get a streaming deal, and their schools might still get 24, 23 million a year off their struggling TV deal. So speak on that. Anyone can speak on that.
Well, it's about branding, and that's why Notre Dame they'll never go into a conference, because they make so much money off of what is it, ABC? Basketball went to the AC. Basketball went ACC.
They went to ACC,
but the football program will never go to a conference because they make so much money, and so it's all about the brand. And I know and this is kind of going in reverse a little bit, and just talking about Tiger and was it Justin Speed?
Yeah.
All right, Tiger and Justin. Hey, we all knew it was a prank. We prank all the time. We knew it was a prank.
Oh, Justin Thomas.
Justin Thomas. We all know it was a prank. But somewhere someone was offended, and you never know that the person that could have been offended may have been a CEO of something. The young lady who ran the tournament, the Genesis, she was a female. So now people are going to be critical or are going to complain to her. So somebody's bottom line could have been affected by a prank. I had no problem with the joke. The problem that I had was somebody's bottom line or somebody's money or somebody's finances could have been affected by a 10-second joke.
Mm. Yeah, you got to protect the product, even though he's the product. He's the needle. He's the product, though. You got to protect even from him.
I thought it was funny.
Yeah, no, yeah. I think I'm gonna use it with my Sunday group. So I mean, yeah, I think so. I think so.
And it was a joke. We all agree that it was a funny joke. But the difference. Somebody said, "Well, we do far worse on the golf course." Yeah, we do, but we're not playing in front of 5 million viewers and 500 TV cameras. So it's not the point of somebody eavesdropping on our. If I say something like that or do something like that, there are consequences for me. But somewhere down the line, when you're on that big, it's like if Ramon went out in the NFL Super Bowl and he pulled up his damn pants leg and showed. It's going to be repercussions somewhere. It's just the time and place that somebody's bottom line. It's not going to affect Tiger, but it could affect somebody else's bottom line under that umbrella.
Protect the product. Protect the product.
I like how he got in front of it, though. He apologized real quick. He got in front of it real fast. So he handled
a lot of people don't do that. His people that he has around him are winners, and instead of being like, it's just a joke, like, well, get in front of it. I'll speak on it because I'm just going to tell the truth. And luckily, he's in a position where accept my truth or don't, but this is it, and I'm done with it. And sometimes you need to, all the time, get in front of it because what he said was true. If I offended someone, that's what I did. I didn't mean to do it. Blah 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 blah. The same, and it's over. It's done with. We need to understand. And I'm glad we're having this conversation about business and about a product and about branding and how much money can come to certain things if you're professional and you're ready to accept it. Like I always say, Jackson is going to reap a lot of benefits. Colorado in the end will reap more because they were ready to accept more that could happen. And I think people don't always understand. They were already in a better financial position. So any other extras, they can jump and capitalize on it because they were in a better financial position to capitalize on certain things than maybe a Jackson, because they were able to capitalize on a lot of stuff and they reached their level of capitalization. Then it's different levels. Like if I come up with a great idea, I'll be able to capitalize on it some. But say if Tiger or Phil came up with the same idea, they're going to take my idea and quadruple it because they're in a better position to make my idea even better. And it's not a diss, and it's not, we got to start understanding that also. What say you guys?
Yeah, I think branding is so you talked about the HBCUs. What Dion did to the HBCUs was highlight for corporate America, the amount of butts that be in the seats. And corporate America start seeing that, hey, here's a whole different demographic that's not tapped into. And we got 60,000, 70,000. If you look at some of those stadiums, they're at capacity. And you look at some PWIs, not even near as many, half of the individuals that sits in those seats to come watch those HBCU games. So
Pac-12.
once they start recognizing that, that's a whole different demographic that's like, hey, this is a whole nother revenue stream that we haven't even thought about. But Dion brought that to the table. And how he did that was, he's a genius. Look at what he does. He has a camera. He has his marketing folks, and he is, I don't know what he's Instagram and YouTube and whatever it is, but he's doing it and he's advertising it. And it's just highlighting the individuals. Hey, this is the demographic. This is untapped. This is a whole new revenue stream. People start advertising, and now that money started flowing into the HBCUs, and now it just steamrolled. And it started helping the students. And now you got these NIL things going on where that's a whole nother topic.
Yeah.
But
that is.
Yeah, but it recognized that it's a business, and they start seeing it. Hey, this is revenue that we can get, and it brought money to those HBCUs across the board.
Like I always say, he showed them the blueprint. He showed them the blueprint, and now just capitalize on it. On it. I mean, like I said, I'm in the Pac-12 area, and we're struggling to find a TV deal. What if all three of the black HBCU conferences got together and just went out and got a great big TV deal, and every school got 10, 15, 20
that
million
ain't gonna
a year?
happen, man.
I'm saying, look. I understand, but come on. I'm just saying
one president
that's
gonna
business,
say,
though. Yeah, but this thing, you come together, you got 60, 70, 80,000 in them seats, right? You bring the conference together. We got this many football teams, right? We're looking for a big deal. We need 400, 500 million. Each school is going to divide that up like they do in the Big Fives, right? And that's $15 million per school every year that they could get. Obviously, the product is entertaining. Dion showed us the product is entertaining. Jackson, before Dion came, their stadium was packed anyway. You know what I mean? And the bands were always going to get accolades and stuff. And now you got football plus the bands. Dude, it's a great product. Package it up, HBCUs. Share the money. If the Pac-12 and the AC, that's what they do. They go get the $800 million deal, and each school get $40 million every year, whether they suck or not. Everyone gets the money.
Man, we ain't gonna do right.
I'm just saying. I'm just putting it in the. I'm just putting it in the atmosphere.
Somebody's gonna say,
in the atmosphere.
One of the presidents gonna say, "Well, I need this for my discretionary fund."
Stop
I'm just saying, it's been proven. I mean, Dion. That's why Dion left.
Well, look. We don't have, like we said, we only have good news and change news. We don't have bad news. We only talk about change news. The change is get them conferences, go get you a big deal. Split the money like the PWIs do. It helps everyone. Millions and millions of dollars. You think I read Alabama's recruitment and football budget is $38 million.
Oh, it's crazy.
38 million every year. That's just designated to the football program, recruitment football program. But guess what? They bring in 42 from the TV deal. not including they bring in 42 from the TV deal, not including ticket sales, athletic apparel sales. So you think, oh, 38 million, they're taking a bath. They making 10 after spending 38. We can do the same. Okay.
Ramon, where and when did you cross?
Theta Phi, 2013, Jacksonville, Florida.
Okay.
Nice. All right, y'all.
I'm gonna tell you something funny. Hey, so I know Ramon. I know him I know him better than he knows himself. So anyway, one of his first games was UNC Charlotte and John C. Smith. I mean, it was hot. I mean, it was 100 degrees out there. He's on that turf. So anyway, we're tailgating in the parking lot. So I hang with all the Qs from Road Chapter, John C. Smith, all of my boys. So we're in the parking lot grilling out. So I tell Ramon, come on down. He comes down. You can tell he's tired. So anyway, one of my buddies, Ron Boyd's Q, and he always would tell me, said, Sif, if we go somewhere and you see me with one of the bros and they get out of hand, you can jump in. He said, damn all that other stuff, you jump in. And so anyway, Ramon sitting there, it's two guys, 6'5", they were offensive linemen, 6'5", 280. I mean, they got him over in the corner. I'm just sitting there eating, drinking. So my boy Ron said, hey, is Ramon gonna be all right? I said, man, they have no idea what's about to happen. So I just laid back. Next thing I know, I heard boom. I didn't even have to turn around to see what the deal was because Ramon is strong, man. When I say strong, if he grabs you, it's a wrap. And so I knew. I knew right there. I said, man, I ain't worried about him. He all right.
Little Q love. We call that Q love. Yeah. We friends to this day.
They didn't have no choice but to be your friend.
Beautiful. Crazy. Like I said before, dude, we were honored to have you, Ramon. An exceptional journey for an exceptional human being and a road less taken. He said, like Solomon's gold, y'all. Y'all get on that road.
King's ransom.
It's a king's ransom.
King's ransom.
I mean, I don't think there's anything else to say. What is there to say? He didn't tell y'all what it is over there. It's a Solomon's gold. It's a king's ransom. You just got to put in that work every single day. And there's other life experiences and there's other work ethic from a lifetime help too. You just ain't gonna jump into that King Solomon's gold mine and think you're gonna dig it all up. Parting words.
Hey Ramon, did they allow? Are you guys full? Well, they wanted you guys to go full time, right?
Yes, they did, but we're still. I mean, what we do is really full time. I mean, you talked about owning your craft. I mean, we study. I mean, the rule book is thick.
Right.
We have to stay in that rule book. I'm starting this weekend. I've been off not even a month, and I'm jumping back in the rule book this weekend, and I'm going to go all the way through the summer. I mean, it really never stops.
Well, how did you juggle your other job?
I mean, that other job part-time now. That's my second job.
That's the second job. You done told you he's over there in that King's Ranch. Solomon's gold. I told you, Seth. Christ. You done already told you. You said it's $1 billion business.
Well, I can call
what more do you trying to tell you.
So, Ramon, I hear you golfing. If you ever come to Tampa, if you want that smoke.
There you go. See that? There you go. There you go. I'm going to make a trip just specifically. Hey, like they say, if you see me in a bath fight, don't help me, help the bath.
Ooh.
Right.
So let them know. Let them know.
But on that note, again, an exceptional journey for an exceptional man. Thanks again for coming on. This is one of our really better podcast and just a different road and a different conversation that I think is going to help all of us, whether we're in golf, football, or just in professional life. Excellence, don't matter what you do. If you bring excellence to the table, it's going to help you. If you can bring hard work to the table, it's going to help you. If you're going to bring discipline and character to the table, guess what? It's going to help you. And on that note,
and I'll say this for anybody. Let me say one last word. If you got any listeners or any young men and women that is interested in officiating, there's high school chapters in every city. To go look at the high school chapters. You don't have to be a certain age. You can work middle school all the way up to high school, and officials are in need. And if you've got kids that are not doing anything and you need them to do something, young, whether they're 15, 16, all the way up to whatever age, it's a good thing to get them involved, because there's a need for it. There's a need for it. And I mean, it's decent money, weekend money if you can work it and do as many games as you want to do at that level. And have them go check out the High School Chapters Association in those counties.
Hey, I'm a Negro. I want to go straight to the top.
Seth, do not ruin that great insight.
I want to go to the top. I want to be taggable.
You want to roll out of bed and just land in Solomon's gold mine? Is that what you said? Like, man, I done put my foot in my house shoes. Am I in Solomon's gold mine yet? But thanks to God, because I don't think people think it through. Hey, go to your local high school chapter, get involved. It might be something that's calling in your heart, and you never know where it's going to land you. You never know, especially if you're just sitting around eating sugary cereal and watching cartoons. Get up, get out, get some fresh air, and be a help to your community. And on that note, again, we out.